In this video, you are going to learn on the difference existing between an atom, a molecule, and a compound. Before I tell you what is a molecule, a compound, or an atom, let's first fill this table together, and I hope after filling this table, you will have an idea on how you can differentiate these three terms. Here we have a first column which contains a chemical substance, and a second part we have a kind of the chemical substance. These kinds can be atom, molecule, or compound. By starting with the sulfur dioxide, is it a molecule, a compound, or an atom? Sulfur dioxide cannot be an atom. Why? It is not an atom because it is made up of more than one atom, as it has three atoms, whereby we have one atom of sulfur and two atoms of oxygen, making it having three atoms. Now, if it is not an atom, is it a molecule? Yes, sulfur dioxide is a molecule. Why? It is a molecule because it is made up of more than one atom. Now, sulfur dioxide is a molecule. Is it the same sulfur dioxide a compound? Sulfur dioxide is also a compound. Why? It is a compound because it is made up of more than one atom, and those atoms are of different kinds. As we find that, we have sulfur and oxygen, so it is also a compound. Let us shift to the second substance, which is carbon. Is carbon an atom? Yes, carbon is an atom. Why? Because it carries all characteristic properties of carbon element. So this one is an atom. Is it a molecule? No, carbon is not a molecule because it has not involved any combination. Is it a compound? No, carbon is not a compound because it has not involved the combination of more than one atom of different kind. Now let us shift to ozone, which is O3. Is ozone an atom? No, ozone is not an atom. Why? Because it is made up of more than one atom. Which are they? It is made up of three atoms of oxygen. So this one is not an atom. Is ozone a molecule? Yes, ozone is a molecule. Why? Because it is made up of more than one atom, whereby we have three oxygen atoms. Is ozone a compound? No, ozone is not a compound. Why is ozone not considered as a compound? Ozone is not a compound, though it has involved the combination of more than one atom, because those combined atoms are of the same kind. So it would be a compound if the combined atoms would be of different kinds. So it is not a compound. Let us shift to a fourth substance, which is hydrogen chloride. Is hydrogen chloride an atom? No, hydrogen chloride is not an atom. Why? Because it has involved the combination of more than one atom. So it is not an atom. If hydrogen chloride is not an atom, is it a molecule? Yes, hydrogen chloride is a molecule because it has involved the combination of more than one atom. Which are they? We have hydrogen and chlorine. So it is a molecule. Is the same hydrogen chloride, which we have said is a molecule, a compound? Yes, it is also a compound. Why? Because it has involved the combination of more than one atom of different kind. Now it is also a compound. After that, let us shift to a fifth substance, which is chlorine. Is chlorine an atom? Yes, chlorine is an atom because it has all characteristic properties as that of chlorine element. Now it is an atom. Is the same chlorine a molecule? No, it is not a molecule because it has not involved any combination. Is the same chlorine a compound? No, chlorine is not a compound because we don't see any combination of atoms of different kinds in chlorine, as it is made up of a single atom, so it is not a compound. Now, in this table, we can be able to define what is an atom, a molecule, and a compound. Now, what is an atom? We say that an atom is the smallest unit of matter that has all characteristic properties of an element. Now, if we pass across these substances, we have obtained that we have two atoms, which are carbon and chlorine. According to this definition, how carbon and chlorine are termed as atoms? They are atoms because they exist at elemental level, as carbon has all similar properties as carbon element, and chlorine has all properties as that of chlorine element. After that, let us define a molecule. What is a molecule? A molecule is a substance made up of two or more atoms which are chemically combined together. Now, any combination of atoms, regardless they are of the same kind or are not of the same kind, we call the resulting substance a molecule. That is why you may find it that any combination of more than one atom, regardless they are of the same kind or not, we have taken it as a molecule. For example, sulfur dioxide is a molecule because it has a combination of sulfur and oxygen. And we find another one is ozone, is a molecule because it is a combination of 3 atoms of oxygen. And we find also hydrogen chloride is a molecule because it involves the combination of hydrogen and chlorine. After that, let us define also a compound. What is a compound? We say that a compound is a substance made up of 2 or more atoms of different kinds which are chemically combined together. So, for it to be a compound, it must have 2 or more atoms, and those atoms should be of different kinds. For example here, how many compounds do we have? We have only 2 compounds, which are sulfur dioxide and hydrogen chloride. Why only these 2? These 2 are taken as compounds because each has the combination of more than one atom of different kinds. For example, in sulfur dioxide, the combination involves sulfur and oxygen. These are of different elements. So, sulfur and oxygen are of different elements. That's why sulfur dioxide is taken as a compound. Also, we find another compound is hydrogen chloride. Why? It is a compound because it involves the combination of more than one atom. And those atoms are of different kinds, as we have hydrogen and chlorine. By saying so, we concluded that all compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds, because some of the molecules involve the combination of the atoms of the same kind. So those miss the character of being compounds, because for it to be a compound, the atoms which are combined should be of different kinds. As we have seen here, what properties make ozone not qualify to be a compound? Though it is a combination, the atoms making it are not of different kinds. That's why it is not a compound. Now, if the combination involves the atoms of the same kind, that is only taken as a molecule, but not a compound. After that, this is the end of our today's session. I take this chance to thank you. Have a nice moment.